Hey everybody, so today we are going to be doing a little compare and contrast then and now of life on the farm. So what I want to focus on today is some more background knowledge for Charlotte's Web about farm life in the 1950s and the 1960s. So first, what we're going to do is just talk about some of the basics of a farm. What is it? Who lives there? Then we're going to dive deep into farm life in the 1950s and 60s. And also the video talks about school life back then too, since we will be hearing about Charlotte and Avery going to school. And then the activity for today's lesson. Please bear with me. This is the first time I'm using Prezi to do a lesson. So hopefully it works, fingers crossed. But at the end of the presentation, I will also include the links to the videos as well as the worksheet to the activity that is expected from you today. Alrighty, let's begin. What is a farm? So all a farm is a large piece of land that raises crops or livestock. What are crops, you must be asking? Crops are living plants grown by farmers. So farmers can either make crops for themselves, so they have food to eat, but typically what farmers do, since it's a large piece of land, is they grow a lot, or mass quantities of an object or type of food and sell it to make a living. So here's a picture of a crop. I'm not sure what kind it is, don't ask me. But as you can see, do you guys know what this is here in the picture? So that's an irrigation system. So essentially, because there's so much land and it's so big, this is just really all it is a really big sprinkler to water the crops so they stay healthy and that people are able to eat them. Oh, and here's a little tractor. So there are many different types of crops. So most crops are grain, vegetables, and fruits. So all things we can eat. Some crops can also be cotton, dairy, and biofuel. So for example, in this picture here, what do you guys see? Nah, that's right, a bunch of sheep. Sheep are raised for their wool. Wool is a type of fabric that's commonly, that is commonly used to make clothes to keep us warm. What is livestock? Livestock are domestic animals that are raised by farmers for food, milk, leather, or wood. So here is a picture of a chicken coop. Here is another picture of some cows grazing, but I kind of want to focus on these pictures over here for a second. So as you guys know, Miss Bento is first generation American, which means her parents, her mommy and daddy, were born in another country, which you guys all know is Portugal. So every summer, when I was younger at least, I'm not so lucky now that I'm getting older, but I always go back to Portugal to visit my family, and we go stay on my farm at my dad's parents' house, so my grandparents' house. So these are some pictures from me on my farm. So I can relate to Charlotte's Web actually a lot because when I go to Portugal, I live on a farm. So let me quickly just go over some of these pictures. Of course, I had to include myself with the baby chicks. He's a little hard to see, but he's that little guy right there. And here are the rest of them with their mother hen, right? That's how a female chicken is a hen, and these are baby chicks. This is our vaca, our cow. This is obviously Miss Bento and Dylan, my brother, and we are walking our cow back from the pasture back to the barn because he got a little excited and wandered off. So that is us bringing him back. This is at my tio's, my uncle's farm up the road. He raises sheep and sells their wool. And I actually used to take photography or participate in photography. So these are all my pictures here. The sheep are very funny. I'm going to see if I can find some of my videos to upload so you guys can see. And here, it's almost like my very own Wilbur. We had lots of pigs, but he was my favorite. He was so friendly. I want you guys to click on this link when the video's over, and it's a short little video. It's a guessing game. They play the sound of the farm animal and you have to guess it. So it's a good way to practice so we get used to hearing when we're reading along in Charlotte's Web which animals are speaking. There are a lot of characters, so it's important that when we read, maybe someone going moo, we know it's probably the cow. Or if we hear someone saying maybe nah, we know it's the sheep talking. It's just a little practice for everybody. Who lives on a farm? The main people that live on a farm are the farmers. Those are the people that are in charge. So the same way a school has a principal, right? Miss Dr. Joseph Charles is the leader of our school, our building. Farmers are the head honchos. They run the place. Okay? Then Dr. Joseph Charles has helpers, right? Her vice principals, Mr. Chewy and Mr. Wesley. On the farm, those people would be your farm hands. So if we refer back to our school analogy, the farmer, the head honcho, would be Dr. Joseph Charles, and the farm hands, which are the helpers, right, to the farmer, that is our VPs. So that would be Mr. Chewy and Mr. Wesley. Okay? And then you come down to the relatives. The relatives. So that would maybe be your wife, your husband, your parents, sons, daughters, cousins, whatever the case may be. So once again, let's compare the farming. So in Charlotte's Web, the relatives that live on the farm together are Mr. and Mrs. So we have Mr. Arabelle, he's the farmer, and then the relatives would be Mrs. Arabelle, Avery, and Charlotte. Oh, not Charlotte. Excuse me. Fern. Well, Miss Bento had a brain fart there. Fern. And if we bring it back to the school analogy, the relatives would be the teachers. So like me, Mr. Corso, Miss Keel, Miss Shakir, Dr. Campbell, Miss Maxwell, right? And then the last people that you can find on the farm would be your livestock and the crops. So the farm reference, that would be your sheep, your cows, your pigs, corn crops, whatever it is that you're raising. And then if we bring it back to the school analogy, the livestock and the crops would be the students, if that makes sense. So now let's dive deep to farm life in the 1950s and 60s. So what I want you to do is you're going to watch this video. So when you click on here, you're going to watch the video on farm and school life in the Midwest circa around 1950, 1960s. Fun fact, that word circa means around or about. It's used a lot in social studies, and I remember when I first learned how to use this word, I probably was in like 6th or 7th grade. Middle school, definitely. It was definitely in social studies. I think it was with my social studies teacher, Mr. Ricka, in 6th grade, actually. And ever since I learned how to use that word, it's been one of my favorite words to use ever. So what I want you guys to do for extra credit is I want you to use that word circa in a 5-star sentence. So your sentence starts with a capital letter, ends with a period, finger spaces, makes sense, nice, neat, and beautiful, right? You guys know the drill. Here's my example. Circa 2008 was the year I started practicing yoga. So what this word is essentially telling you, all it's saying is around the year or about 2008 was when I started practicing yoga. Okay, so there's some extra credit opportunity for you guys out there, okay? So you're going to watch this video, learn about school life and farm life in the 1950s and 60s. And if you want extra credit, try to use this word circa in a 5-star sentence. And last but not least, your activity. So I want you to click on this link right here. Okay, you're going to take any of the tours provided on the website below, and I want you to fill in this worksheet. Very simple. So when you click on this link, there will be many options of you to choose from. I believe there's like a dairy farm you can visit, There's so many options. I can't even recall them off the top of my head. But this is what you will be graded on for today. I know some of us don't have access to printers or any programs on our computers that let us just draw right on top of the worksheet. So if that's the case, that's okay. All I ask is that you label whatever it is that you are writing on the title of the worksheet or the article, whatever it is, and just, make the boxes, do the sentences, complete all of the expectations that you would if you had the physical worksheet in front of you, and upload that, please. Any questions, comments, or concerns, you know how to reach me. I look forward to seeing what you guys think of this lesson. Thumbs up, sideways, thumbs down. My friends, you know how to rate me, show me. Miss you all, and I hope you enjoy. See you soon.